for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21, where we talk hot topics, trending topics. Copyright disclaimer: under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged, in our opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I was not able to go live, but I figured I would bring you some content for tonight. So just be patient with me. I'm just doing a quick upload. I will definitely try. I don't know if I can. I'll try to go live. I thank everyone for being so patient, so kind. I am still getting a great amount of subscribers, and I'm finding that my content, a lot of men tune in. So I appreciate you guys. So let's get into the details of what transpired. If I can go live in the morning, I will. If I can't, I still needed to do an upload. So let's get to the news.
Jurors being questioned one by one in the highly anticipated trial, but here is what we know as of right now. Now, Combs faces several charges, including sexual assault, sex trafficking, drugging, coercion, and racketeering. Several dozen prospective jurors got a brief description of the charges against Combs this morning, and jury selection could take several days, with opening statements in the start.
Now, many people are saying jury selection could take several days because a lot of these jurors don't know which case they're going to be heard for. Does that make sense? When you get a jury notice in the mail, you don't know what case it's going to be regarding. So you're watching news, you're listening to media, you don't know which case it's regarding. This has been going on for almost, a year in regards to this Diddy stuff. So I'm not surprised that some jurors are saying, I've heard different podcasts, I've seen the video. So they may be having a slight issue in regards to finding jurors that haven't heard anything. But I'm finding and hearing that the judge and some of the jurors are still being selected if they've heard things about Diddy. A lot of cases like, no, I've heard nothing, but this has been going on for so long. So let's continue.
Of testimony expected sometime next week. Let's get right to Fox 5's Michelle Ross, who is live from outside of the courthouse in Lower Manhattan with more of today's developments. Michelle.
Hi there, Bianca. Potential jurors, after they received that brief explanation of the charges against Diddy, the judge also reminded them that Diddy has pleaded not guilty to all of the charges and that he is presumed innocent. Diddy walked into the courtroom hugging his attorneys. We also saw him in regular clothing, not his usual.
I'm not certain if any friends and family has attended this today. I'm just letting you guys know. I'm hearing different stuff. I'm not certain if the mom or the children showed up, but I could have heard different. So let's continue.
Prison uniform. He wore a sweater with a white collared shirt underneath and gray slacks. Now, the jury will be anonymous, and this is often the case in high-profile trials to protect potential jurors from harassment. Now, jurors are being questioned.
Well, that's good that they're anonymous. Let's continue.
By one, and the court hopes to seat a panel of 12 of them, plus 6 alternates by the end of the week before opening statements begin on Monday. The trial is expected to last around 2 months, and we can expect prosecutors to argue that Diddy used his power to force women to participate in drug-fueled orgies that lasted days.
Allegedly,
Diddy's defense team
innocent
says
to proven guilty.
Consensual, and his attorney, Mark Igdifilo, said during a hearing last month that there's nothing criminal about a swinger's lifestyle. One of the 4 alleged victims expected to testify during this trial include R&B singer and ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura. And tonight, just a few miles uptown, is the Met Gala. This, of course, was an event that Diddy attended.
If you just missed, I did do a lot of uploads in regards to the Met Gala, so please check out those shorts for regards to the Met Gala. Don't forget, this is Let's Talk About It Media 21. Yes, I have to stop it, play it, because I'm not trying to get flagged.
For years, it's an event full of glamorous fashion and also fundraising, but instead of heading there tonight, Diddy will be going back to his jail cell before coming back here tomorrow. We're live outside federal court in Lower Manhattan.
Interesting that the Met Gala is the same day as his trial.
Thank you for the update. And joining us now for more on this is Eric Rudish, managing partner and senior litigation consultant at Blueprint Trial Consulting. Eric, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, so the question right off the bat here is that with Diddy's name all over the headlines, how do you lawyers even begin to seat an impartial jury?
Well, the first step is the juror questionnaire. I'm sure there'll be several questions asking prospective jurors what they know about the trial and, more importantly, what opinions they formed about the case.
Yeah.
So that's going to certainly provide a good deal of information for each side to know if a prospective juror can be fair and impartial in this case.
Absolutely. Now, I know that the prosecution is painting this as a years-long criminal operation. So what does the defense have to do to maybe dismantle that narrative?
Well, I mean, first step is obviously selecting a jury that's going to be, for both sides, fair and impartial. So looking at the questionnaire and seeing what opinions people have or experiences related to sexual abuse, sexual lifestyle, views towards law enforcement, whether they've have negative view of law enforcement, feel that law enforcement unfairly targets individuals, particularly minorities.
Yeah.
So, people are going to look through that evidence through their own lens, and their lifestyles, experiences are going to certainly be a big factor in how jurors view this case.
So for the defense team, what would be the ideal juror that they would want seated on this?
So the ideal juror would be someone who potentially has more favorable attitudes or experiences towards, hip-hop culture, has a maybe non-traditional sexual...
Like the video. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe. And thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21. A few more minutes.
Lifestyle. Maybe has had negative experiences with law enforcement. So, someone who, with those experiences and attitudes can certainly be much more receptive to some of the evidence that the prosecutor is going to bring forth against Sean Combs.
You brought up the issue of the evidence. A lot of the evidence is going to be very graphic. So how do you bring that out there to the jurors without alienating some of them?
Right.
It's all going to be about the witnesses that come forth for both the prosecution.
Yeah, because this case, even reading some of the alleged lawsuits in regards to the alleged accusers, like I said, he's innocent until proven guilty. A judge jury will have to decide if there's any wrongdoing. But how do they not make it so graphic? Because even in the lawsuits, in regards to the lawsuits that's been filed, some of the situations, a lot of people, after hearing the lawsuits being read, after a while, it became a lot for a lot of people to deal with the case. But like we said, even in regards to lawsuits, he's innocent until proven guilty. So he has to decide whether he wants to not deal with that or move forward with the lawsuits. You know what I mean? Let's continue.
And the defense, and for Sean Combs is a team to put that evidence, particularly the visual evidence, into context.
Yeah.
And it might be the kind of case that Sean Combs may need to testify to provide his story to the jurors.
Do you think he will?
Probably not.
That's the big question. Will he testify?
A decision that might be made, during the trial to see how the trial is going, but typically defendants, as you know, do not testify.
Yeah, they don't want to get themselves in any more trouble than they are already currently in.
Exactly.
Makes a lot of sense. All right, well, we certainly appreciate you being here and in breaking this down for us. It's going to be a complicated process, obviously, but the world will be watching.
Yes,
especially in a case like this.
Thank you.
You'll have to come back on to talk more about it. Thanks for being here.
So we got this information from Fox 5. I wanted to reference where we got the information. So once again, thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21. Like, comment, and subscribe. I will definitely try to go live tomorrow. If I don't go live tomorrow, I will continue with my shorts until I get some things straightened out. Busy schedule on this side, and I'm doing the best I can to upload. So we will continue in regards to the best way I can to cover the Diddy trial. There's jury selection happening today, and it may be continuing for the next few days. Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21. Like, comment, and subscribe. Focus on healthy, safe relationships. Be around people that's loving, kind, and respectful. Protect yourself. Let's see what happens in regards to who's going to testify, who may plead the fifth, what celebrities will attend the trial, what celebrities will take the stand, what celebrities will speak out during the trial. This is huge. This is anticipating to go on for weeks. I don't know if it's going to be a month, but possibly. Some have said different things. So we'll see what happens, how long this trial will go. Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21. Have a great evening, everyone.